Welcome back to episode 4 of the Naomi and Jiwon story. When we left off, they'd just survived a brutal war with the Kim syndicate. They'd gotten married on a rooftop overlooking Seoul, promising forever to each other. They'd talked about the future, about peace, about maybe someday having a family. They thought the worst was behind them. They thought they'd earned their happiness. They were wrong, because the past never stays buried, and some debts can never be paid. What happens next will test everything they are, everything they've built, and force them to make an impossible choice. This is the reckoning. Peace, Naomi decided, felt like waiting for the other shoe to drop. It had been a week since the war ended. 7 days of quiet mornings and quiet nights. 7 days of Jiwon coming home without blood on his hands. 7 days of almost normal. She should have been happy, should have been relieved, should have been celebrating. Instead, she felt sick. She stood in the penthouse bathroom at 6 a.m, bent over the toilet for the 3rd time that week, stomach heaving. Stress, she told herself. Exhaustion from the war. Delayed reaction to all the trauma. Perfectly normal. Except it didn't feel normal. It felt like something else. Something she wasn't ready to name yet. Naomi, Jiwon's voice through the door, concerned. You okay? Fine, she called back, wiping her mouth. Just my stomach, something I ate. Silence, then, you said that yesterday. And the day before, I know, I'm fine. Really, just give me a minute. She heard him walk away, but she knew he didn't believe her. Jiwon noticed everything, especially when it came to her. It was one of the things she loved about him, and one of the things that made lying to him impossible. She splashed water on her face and looked at herself in the mirror. Dark circles under her eyes. Skin paler than usual. The wedding ring on her finger catching the light. Mrs. Kang Naomi, wife to a mafia prince, doctor to criminals, and probably pregnant. The thought should have terrified her. Instead, it filled her with a strange, fragile hope. A baby, their baby, something good and innocent and pure in all this darkness. A future beyond survival, a reason to build something better. But first, she needed to be sure. She found Jiwon in the kitchen, making coffee. He'd gotten good at it, learned exactly how she liked it. 2 sugars, splash of cream. He handed her a mug without a word, watching her with those dark, knowing eyes. I'm going to the clinic today, she said. Check on supplies, treat any walk-ins, normal day. I'll send security with you. Jiwon. Non-negotiable. His voice was firm. The war just ended. We have a truce, not peace. Until I'm certain you're safe, you don't go anywhere without protection. Please, for me. She nodded, picked her battles. This wasn't one worth fighting. Okay, but they stay outside. I'm still a doctor. Patient confidentiality matters. Deal. He pulled her close, kissed her forehead. How are you really feeling, and don't lie to me? Honestly, exhausted, overwhelmed, like I'm waiting for everything to fall apart again. Me too. His arms tightened around her. But we survived the war. We can survive the peace. Can we? Or are we just survivors who don't know how to stop surviving? I don't know, but I guess we'll find out together. She left for the clinic an hour later, 2 of Jiwon's men following at a discreet distance. The morning was cool, autumn settling over Seoul. She loved this city, had come here broken and lost, and somehow found herself. Found him. Found a life she never expected. And now that life might include a baby. She stopped at a pharmacy on the way to the clinic, bought a pregnancy test along with bandages and antiseptic, trying to look casual. The clerk didn't even glance at her twice. Just another customer, just another purchase. If only she knew. The clinic was quiet when she arrived. A few patients waiting. Minor injuries, routine checkups. The normal world, continuing without awareness of the violence that lurked beneath Seoul's surface. She worked through the morning, her mind only half present, the pregnancy test burning a hole in her medical bag. She was between patients, about to finally take the test, when she saw him. Marcus Webb. Standing in her clinic waiting room like a ghost from a life she'd buried. Tall, handsome in that all-American way, FBI credentials clipped to his belt. Smiling that smile she'd once thought was charming and now knew was poison. Her ex-fiancé, the man she'd fled Houston to escape, the man who'd made her afraid to love anyone until Jiwon showed her what love really meant. And he was here, in Seoul, in her clinic, looking at her like he owned her. "Hello, Naomi," he said. "It's been a while." Every instinct screamed at her to run, to call for Jiwon's men outside, to do anything except stand there frozen like prey. But she was Dr. Naomi Kang now, not the frightened girl who'd run. She'd face down crime lords and bullets and war. She could face Marcus Webb. "What are you doing here?" Her voice came out steady. "Good." "My job, I'm FBI now, assigned to the Seoul Field Office, Organized Crime Division." He looked around the clinic. Nice place, modest, not what I expected for the wife of Kang Ji-won. Her blood ran cold. "How did you?" "Know you married a crime lord? Naomi, I'm FBI. It's literally my job to know these things. And you've been on my radar for 6 months, ever since I tracked you to Seoul. Ever since I saw who you were associating with, what you've become." "I haven't become anything. I'm still a doctor." "Are you? Because the evidence I have says otherwise." He pulled out a tablet, started swiping through photos, her entering the penthouse, treating wounded men with obvious gunshot wounds, standing beside Ji-won at syndicate meetings, the blood oath ceremony, everything. He'd been watching everything. "You're in trouble, Naomi. Federal trouble. Conspiracy, aiding and abetting, failure to report gunshot wounds, complicity in organized crime. I could go on, but you get the picture. You're looking at 15 to 20 years in a federal prison." Her hands were shaking. She hid them behind her back. "What do you want?" "To help you. Believe it or not, I still care about you. We were going to get married once, remember? Before you ran away without a word. Before you chose this life over the one we could have had." "You mean before I escaped your abuse? Before I fled the man who put his hands on me? Before I chose safety over you?" His expression darkened. "I never meant to hurt you. I was under stress. The job, the pressure, I made mistakes. But I've changed, Naomi. I'm better now. And I'm offering you a way out. Testify against Kang Ji-won. Wear a wire, provide evidence. In exchange, full immunity, witness protection. A clean slate. You can come home." "Seoul is my home." "Seoul is a cage, and that man is your jailer. You just don't see it yet." He pulled out more photos. Crime scenes, bodies, victims of violence. "Look at these, really look. These are people your husband killed. These are the crimes you're protecting. Can you really live with that?" She looked, couldn't help herself. Young faces, old faces. Men and women, all dead, all bloodied, all ended by Ji-won's hand. Her stomach turned. Not from morning sickness this time, from horror. "He's a monster, Naomi, and you're lying in bed with him every night. How can you do that? How can you look at yourself in the mirror?" "He protects me. He loves me. He's using you, and when he's done, when you're no longer useful, he'll discard you like he discarded all these people, like he'll discard everyone who gets too close." Marcus leaned in, his voice dropping. "I'm giving you a chance. 48 hours, think about it. Really think about who you've become and whether this is the life you want. Then call me, before it's too late." He placed a business card on her desk and left. Naomi stood there for a long time after he was gone, staring at the photos on the tablet he'd left behind. Crime scenes, victims, evidence of Ji-won's brutal past, everything she'd chosen to ignore, everything she'd accepted without questioning. She thought she was going to be sick again. That night, Naomi couldn't look Ji-won in the eye. She pushed food around her plate, answered his questions in monosyllables, went to bed early claiming exhaustion. He didn't push, just kissed her goodnight and let her have space. But she couldn't sleep, couldn't stop seeing those faces, those victims, couldn't stop wondering if Marcus was right, if she'd become something she didn't recognize, if loving Ji-won had corrupted her beyond redemption. At 2 a.m, she gave up on sleep, went to the bathroom, took out the pregnancy test she'd bought that morning. A lifetime ago, before Marcus, before the photos, before everything got complicated again. 3 minutes later, she stared at the 2 pink lines. Positive. Undeniably, unmistakably positive. She was pregnant, carrying the child of a man whose victims she'd just seen, carrying a baby into a world of violence and blood and impossible choices. She slid down the bathroom wall and cried, for herself, for the baby, for the impossible situation she was in, for the choice she'd have to make. The next morning, another visitor arrived at the clinic. A woman this time. Beautiful, Korean, with sad eyes and visible scars on her arms. "Dr. Kang," she said quietly. "My name is Yuna Park. I need to talk to you about your husband." Naomi's stomach dropped. "I don't discuss my personal life with patients." "I'm not a patient, I'm a warning." Yuna sat down uninvited. 7 years ago, I was Kang Ji-won's girlfriend. I loved him, thought I knew him. Then one night I witnessed him kill a man, not in self-defense, not in a fair fight. He executed someone in cold blood because they owed money to the syndicate. Naomi wanted to leave, wanted to cover her ears, wanted to unhear this, but she was frozen. "I tried to leave him after that, tried to end it. He said he understood, said we'd talk. Then Yuna pulled up her sleeve, showing a long scar. "He cut me, said if I ever told anyone what I saw, he'd finish the job. I barely escaped, went into hiding, changed my name, spent 7 years afraid of my own shadow." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because you're married to him now, because you're in the position I was in, because I see the way you look, the way you move. You're scared, you should be. He's a monster, Dr. Kang, a beautiful, charming monster, and monsters don't change. They just get better at hiding what they are." "Get out," Naomi's voice shook. "I've partnered with the FBI, with Agent Marcus Webb. We're taking down G1 and the entire Kang syndicate, and we're offering you a chance to save yourself. Testify, get immunity, get away from him before you end up like me, or worse." I said get out. Yuna stood. "You have my number. When you're ready to save yourself, call before it's too late." After she left, Naomi sat alone in her office, surrounded by the ghosts of Ji-won's past. The victims, the survivors, the evidence of who he really was. She'd known, of course she'd known. You don't marry a mafia prince without knowing he's killed people. But knowing abstractly and seeing the reality, seeing the faces, hearing the stories, that was different. And now she was pregnant with his child. The thought made her want to scream. That evening, Naomi did something she'd never done before. She confronted Ji-won with everything, laid it all out. Marcus, Yuna, the photos, the stories, the evidence of his violence. "Did you do this?" she demanded, showing him the crime scene photos on her phone. "Did you kill all these people?" Ji-won looked at each photo carefully. "Yes, every one of them." Just like that. Yes, no excuses, no justifications. "What do you want me to say, Naomi? That they deserved it. Some did, some didn't, that I had no choice. Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't, that I regret it. I don't. These people were threats. To me, to my family, to everything I'm sworn to protect." "And Yuna, did you cut her? Did you threaten to kill her?" He closed his eyes. "Yes, she saw something she shouldn't have. I was younger, more volatile. I scared her into silence. It's one of the things I regret most." "You said you don't regret killing people." "I don't regret protecting my family. I regret hurting someone who loved me, someone I cared about. There's a difference." "Is there? Because from where I'm standing, it all looks the same. Violence, control, fear. This is who you are, Ji-won. This is what you do. And I married you knowing it, but seeing it." She gestured at the photos. "Seeing the reality of it, that's different." "Are you leaving me?" The question hung in the air. Simple, devastating. I don't know. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know if I can be married to someone who's done these things. I don't know if loving you makes me complicit. I don't know anything except that I'm terrified and confused and I can't see a way forward. He moved toward her, but she stepped back. "Don't. I need space. I need time. I need to figure out if I can live with this. With you, with myself." "How much time?" "I don't know. Marcus gave me 48 hours to decide if I'll testify against you. So I guess I have 48 hours to decide everything." "Are you considering it, testifying?" "I'm considering everything, including whether I made the biggest mistake of my life when I said yes to you." She saw him flinch like she'd struck him. Good. Let him hurt. Let him feel a fraction of what she was feeling. "I love you," he said quietly. "That doesn't erase what I've done, doesn't make me less of a monster. But it's true. I love you more than I've loved anything in my life. And if you leave, if you testify, if you choose to walk away from this, from us, I'll understand. I'll hate it. It'll destroy me. But I'll understand. Because you deserve better than a man with blood on his hands and ghosts in his past. Don't make this about you. Don't make me the villain if I choose to save myself. I'm not. I'm just saying I love you, and whatever you decide, that won't change. Naomi left him standing there and went to the guest room, locked the door, lay on the bed and stared at the ceiling, one hand on her still flat stomach. A baby growing inside her, half him, innocent, untouched by the violence and the blood and the choices that had led here. What kind of mother brought a child into this world? What kind of mother raised a baby in a penthouse fortress surrounded by criminals? What kind of mother loved a killer and called it romance? She didn't sleep that night either. The next day, Marcus called. Have you decided? I need more time. You have 24 hours. Then the FBI moves with or without you. We're raiding Kang's syndicate operations tomorrow night. Every location simultaneously. If you're at the penthouse when it happens, you'll be arrested along with everyone else. So decide, Naomi. Save yourself or go down with him, but decide. He hung up. Naomi sat in her clinic, surrounded by medicine and supplies and the tools of healing, and felt more lost than she'd ever felt in her life. That afternoon, she finally told someone. Sarah, her friend from the old days, the one who'd helped her prepare for the wedding. They met at a quiet cafe, far from the penthouse, far from everything. I'm pregnant, Naomi said without preamble, and the FBI is raiding Ji-won's operations tomorrow night, and my ex-fiancé is the agent in charge, and I have to decide if I'm going to testify against my husband or go to prison with him, and I have no idea what to do. Sarah just stared. Wow, okay, that's a lot. I know. What do you want to do? I want to wake up from this nightmare. I want none of this to be real. I want to go back to being a normal doctor with a normal life and normal problems. But you can't, so what do you actually want? Naomi thought about it, really thought about it. I want Ji-won, I want our baby. I want a life where we're not constantly running or fighting or surviving. I want peace, real peace, the kind that lasts. Can you have that with him? I don't know, maybe not in Seoul, maybe not in this life, but maybe somewhere, maybe as someone else if we run, if we disappear, if we start over. You're talking about becoming a fugitive. I'm talking about choosing my family, my husband, my child, even if it costs me everything else. Even if it means giving up medicine, your career, your identity. I already gave up my identity when I took the blood oath. I already gave up my career when I started treating criminals. This is just the logical next step. I'm all in, Sarah. I've been all in since the moment I brought him to my apartment instead of calling the police. I just didn't want to admit it. So you're choosing him. I'm choosing us. Him, me, the baby. That's my family now. That's what I protect, no matter what. Sarah reached across the table and took her hand. Then you better get ready, because choosing him means running, and running means leaving everything behind. I know, but I'd rather run with him than be safe without him. That's love, stupid, reckless, beautiful love. Yeah, it really is. Naomi went home that evening knowing what she had to do. Found Ji-won in his office, staring at security feeds, looking exhausted and worried. He looked up when she entered, and she saw hope and fear war in his expression. I need to tell you something, she said, and you need to listen without interrupting. He nodded. I'm pregnant, about 6 weeks. I just found out. And before you say anything, before you react, I need you to know that this doesn't change my decision. It clarifies it. She saw the emotions cross his face. Joy, terror, wonder, love. Naomi. I said don't interrupt. Marcus offered me immunity, full protection, a way out of all this. And I'm not taking it. I'm choosing you, I'm choosing us. I'm choosing our family, even though you're a killer. Even though you've done terrible things. Even though loving you has cost me everything I thought I was, I'm still choosing you. Why? Because Marcus was a monster in a suit. He hurt me because he could, because he wanted control, because my pain gave him power. You hurt people to survive, to protect. It's not the same. It's still wrong. It's still violence. But it's not evil, and I can live with that. I can love a man who does terrible things for understandable reasons. I can't love a man who does terrible things for pleasure. The FBI is coming, Ji-won said. Tomorrow night, I know, we have intelligence. I know too. Marcus told me. He wanted me to save myself. Maybe you should. Stop, don't do that. Don't try to be noble and push me away for my own good. I'm making my choice with my eyes open. I'm pregnant with your child. I'm your wife. I'm part of this family, and I'm staying, whatever that means, whatever it costs. He crossed the room and pulled her into his arms. A baby. We're having a baby. In the middle of all this chaos, yes, terrible timing. Perfect timing. A reason to fight. A reason to survive. A reason to build something better. The FBI will arrest us if they catch us. Then we don't get caught. Minsiok has an extraction plan, fake passports, private plane, new identities, we leave Seoul, start over somewhere they can't touch us. We'd be fugitives. We'd be free, together, with our child, building a life away from all this. I'd lose everything, my medical license, my career, my name. But you'd keep us, me and the baby, is that enough? She looked up at him, this man she'd saved and married and bound herself to through blood and choice. This killer and protector and father of her child. Yes, it's enough. It's everything. He kissed her then, desperate and fierce. A promise and a goodbye to the life they'd built, and a hello to whatever came next. They spent that night making love like it might be the last time, slow and tender and full of unspoken promises. Afterward, they lay tangled together, his hand on her stomach, both imagining the future growing there. Boy or girl? He asked. Too early to know. What if you had to guess? Girl, a little girl with your eyes and my stubbornness. God help us all. She laughed, actually laughed, first time in days. We're going to be okay, somehow, we'll figure it out. I love you, he said. You and the baby, my family, I'll protect you both with everything I am. I know, I love you too. Even though you're a disaster, and loving you is the most reckless thing I've ever done. You saved a bleeding mobster and brought him to your apartment. Reckless is kind of your thing. Fair point. The next evening arrived too quickly. Minsiok had everything arranged. The extraction team was ready. The plane was fueled and waiting at a private airstrip outside Seoul. Their new passports read James and Naomi Chen. Taiwan-born, Australian-raised, clean histories, new lives. They packed light, only essentials. Naomi looked around the penthouse, this fortress that had been her home, and felt the weight of everything she was leaving. But she'd choose Ji-won and the baby over buildings and things any day. Ready? He asked. No, but let's go anyway. They were halfway to the door when Naomi felt it. A sharp pain in her lower abdomen. A wrongness that sent fear flooding through her system. Ji-won, she said, gripping his arm. Something's wrong. What? The baby, I think. Oh God. She looked down, blood on her pants, spotting maybe just stress, maybe nothing, or maybe everything. Hospital, Ji-won said immediately. Now. We can't, the FBI. I don't care about the FBI. You're bleeding. The baby. Could be fine, could be normal. Spotting happens. We can't risk the hospital. We have to get to the plane. We have to. Another pain. Sharper, she doubled over. Minsiok burst in. We have to leave now. FBI is moving early. They'll be here in 20 minutes. We leave now or we don't leave at all. She's bleeding, Ji-won said. She needs a doctor. I am a doctor, Naomi gritted out through the pain. And I'm saying we go, now, before it's too late. They made it to the convoy. 3 cars, armed men, racing through Seoul's streets toward the private airstrip. Naomi in the back seat, Ji-won's arm around her, blood soaking through her clothes, pain coming in waves. Stay with me, he kept saying. Stay with me, we're almost there. The baby. We'll be fine. You'll both be fine. We'll get on that plane and fly to a country with hospitals and real doctors, and everything will be fine. But she could see the fear in his eyes, could feel her own terror matching his. Behind them, sirens, FBI vehicles in pursuit, helicopters overhead, the full weight of federal law enforcement hunting them. Faster, Minsiok ordered the driver. They pulled up to the airstrip 15 minutes later. The plane was waiting, engines running, pilot waving frantically. Go, Minsiok shouted. I'll hold them off. Brother. Take care of her, take care of the baby, that's an order. Now go. Ji-won and Naomi ran toward the plane, or tried to. She could barely walk, the pain making each step agony. He ended up carrying her, running, her blood staining his shirt. Behind them, FBI vehicles poured onto the airstrip. At least a dozen, maybe more, doors opening, agents spilling out, guns drawn. They reached the plane stairs, started climbing, 1 step, 2 steps, 3. Kang Ji-won, Naomi Ade, stop, Marcus's voice through a megaphone. You're surrounded, there's nowhere to run. Ji-won kept climbing, Naomi in his arms. The plane door open above them, freedom steps away, prison closing in from behind. Halfway up the stairs, Naomi looked back, saw Marcus standing at the front of 50 armed agents, saw the guns pointed at them, saw the helicopters hovering, saw the end of everything they'd built. We have to choose, she said. Right now, do we run and risk the baby, or surrender and save the baby? What do you want to do? I don't know, I can't think, the pain. Another contraction, worse. She cried out, more blood, too much blood. You need a hospital, Ji-won said. Right now, not in 3 hours when we land, now. If we surrender, they'll separate us, put you in prison, take you from me, from the baby. If we run, you might lose the baby. Or worse, I can survive prison, Naomi. I can't survive losing you both. The pilot stuck his head out. We have to leave now. This is your last chance. Marcus's voice again. Naomi, you're bleeding. Your baby needs help. Don't let him kill your child. Surrender. Get medical attention. Save your baby. She looked at Ji-won. He looked at her. 2 people at the top of a plane staircase, surrounded by federal agents, bleeding and terrified, and making a choice that would define the rest of their lives. What do we do? He asked. The pain hit again. Worse, definitely worse. The baby. Oh God, the baby. I don't know, she sobbed. I don't know. 30 seconds, the pilot shouted. Then I'm leaving with or without you. Hands up, Marcus commanded. Step away from the aircraft, last warning. Ji-won's hand on the plane door handle, his other hand holding Naomi, her hand on her bleeding stomach, both of them frozen between 2 impossible choices. Run and risk everything, surrender and lose everything. The baby's life hanging in the balance, their freedom, their future, everything they'd fought for, everything they'd sacrificed, everything they were. All of it balanced on this single moment, this single choice. Naomi looked into Ji-won's eyes, saw her own terror reflected there, saw love and desperation and the same impossible question. What do we choose? Freedom or family? Love or life? Us or the baby? Ji-won, she whispered. 10 seconds, the pilot screamed. The FBI closed in, guns raised, 50 yards, 40, 30. Ji-won's grip on the door handle, Naomi's grip on his shirt, blood dripping down her legs onto the stairs. Pain, fear, love, desperation. Choose, he said. Whatever you choose, I'm with you. Always choose. She looked at him, at the plane, at the FBI, at the future branching in 2 impossible directions. And she made her choice. I choose. Thank you for watching episode 4. I know you're screaming right now. I know you need to know what happens next. And I promise episode 5 is coming. But first, hit that like button, drop a comment with your theory about what Naomi chooses, and subscribe so you don't miss the resolution. Did they escape? Did they surrender? Did the baby survive? Is this the end of their story or just another beginning? Let me know what you think. Until next time, remember, the hardest choices are the ones where there are no good options. Only terrible ones. And the terrible one you choose defines who you are. See you in episode 5.